So we were turned around. Okay. Hi. Oh my goodness, there's a lot of makeup on my face. Okay. So today I'm going to be touching on the basis of, I've been talking about lately depression and anxiety, and yesterday I talked about bullying and, how people mistreat you and you don't know who they are. And I can say over the past 48 hours, I have dealt with it, and I finally came to the conclusion and prayed. Like, I just didn't know what else to do. I didn't know where to go, where to turn to, other than, the people who I actually consider my family, because I found out, it happened. What was happening between people who I thought were my own family. And it really sucks. Just having that thrown in your face, and then you come to the realization that, maybe God's showing you that they're not supposed to be in your life, and that this is really who these people are. Sorry. And so I just want to talk about how justice will be done, even though I can sit here and do so many things with what I found out, but I'm not. Because I feel like, if anything, it's going to be in God's hands now, and not mine. I basically just need to give it all to Him, and, I was told this morning to look at Deuteronomy 31, 6-8, and we'll go to that. There we go. And in it says, "Be strong and courageous, do not be fear or be in dread of them, for it is the Lord that our God who goes with you. He will not leave you or forsake you." And then it talks about how Moses is being summoned by Joshua, and said to him that the sight of Israel, "Be strong and courageous, you shall go with these people into the land that the Lord has sworn for their fathers to give them, and y'all shall put them in possession of it." And it is the Lord who goes before you. He will be with you. He will not leave you nor forsake you. Do not fear or be dismayed. So in this, basically, it is talking about, through this time, like, I need to make sure that I know that God's there with me, that He is fully in charge of this. He is, like, hand in hand with me, and I'm not alone in this. And at the end of the day, it's up to Him to decide, what happens. And so it's kind of like, this is now going into you guys. Like, all of us have been wronged, at one time or another, or a lot of times than most. Most of you probably have been wronged seriously by someone who has never apologized or done anything significant to make it right, neither. And one of the deep hinders that we can have is to hold on to these things, hold on to that bitterness, hold on to the hurt, and it's kind of, I guess you would categorize as the justified conviction that justice should be done, that the moral fabric of the universe basically will unravel if the people can just, get away from the horrible things and deceive everyone. That is one of the big hindrance to forgiveness, of letting grudges go. It's not the only one, but it's the main one. Like, we all have our own sin to deal with, but it is a real one. Like, no sin is greater than the other sin. All sins are equal in the eyes of God. So I've been told all my life, And we feel that, just to let it go would be to admit that justice simply won't be done, and we can't do it. So we hold on to anger, and we play the events out of words over and over again with the feelings. And, like, we start saying things like, it shouldn't have happened, it shouldn't have happen. It shouldn't have been wrong. I shouldn't have done this. How could he or she be so happy when I'm so miserable? It is so wrong. I wish I had this life. And we can't let it go, and our bitterness starts to, poison everything. You start becoming wicked in a way. This word in Romans 12:19, it's given to us that by God to lift that burden from us. And so I guess this message is mainly about, helping those people come out, and to the person. I hope she's watching it and just seeing, I'm not. I just don't know. So let's just keep going on. So, never avenge yourselves, but leave it to the wrath of God. What does this mean for you? Does it mean, like, oh my God, like God's gonna do this, like, oh my goodness, like, no, it's laying down the burden of anger and laying down the practice of nursing your hurt with feelings of being hurt by someone and laying that down. Does that mean there's like no great wrong against you? No, because there was. But it does not mean that, you just instantly have to figure out justice for yourself. You have to figure out justice on them and do everything possible to ruin them because they, hurt you so bad. It does not mean you will not be convicted one day by holding that grudge or whatnot. And it does not mean that God's letting that go. And it doesn't mean that they just got away, because they didn't. It means when you lay down that burden to God, God will lift that up. And this is kind of like, I guess, a subtle way of getting revenge in a way, like feeling like, you won this battle. This is a way of giving it up to the one whom it belongs to fix it, to help you through this challenge and trial in your life. Because it's Satan. Satan's putting all this stuff in your head. And if you go to Psalms, let's see, 119, 10 through 12, and 114 through 117, it says, the wicked have laid a snare for me, but I do not stray from your perceptions. Your testimonies are my inheritance forever, for they are the joy of my heart. I incline my heart to perform your statutes forever to the end. I hate the double-minded, but I love your law. You are my hiding place and my shield. I hope in your word. Depart from me, you the evil and debtors, that I may keep the commandments of my God. Uphold me according to your promise, that I may live, and let me not to put shame in my hope. Hold me up that I may be safe and have regard for your statutes continually. And then it basically, this gave me a lot of strength, because I was texted this morning, and you guys don't know how much that meant. That's basically saying praying to God, help me, help me through this time, get this wickedness away, so that I can start giving your word. And lately with these YouTube videos is I'm putting God first. I'm actually starting my life and putting God first, because I've never have. And Satan hates that. When you're oiling at the feet of Jesus, he hates that. So he's going to do everything to strike you down, and that's exactly what happened to me. That's exactly, I start talking about God's word, and instantly, Satan's trying to tear me down, and I can't let that stop me. So that's why I continue a video today to tell you guys, it's not the end. Don't be scared to go out to that school to, pray at the lunch table. Don't be scared to go tell your friends, I go to church. I learn about Jesus all the time. Don't be afraid, because in the end, that fear, that being afraid, being scared of what your friends are going to say, it's all Satan. It's all Satan telling you, you know what? You can't make a difference in their life. You can't do this. It's not okay. So it's what a glorious, relief in a way. I don't have to carry this burden that's taking most of my joy, most of my anxiety, most of my depression, because all that time I've wasted doing that. I haven't been able to take a deep breath, and finally you can. You can take that deep breath, and perhaps for the first time in decades, in months, in weeks, in 48 hours. But feeling like now at last you're free to love and free to, spread your wings and go straight more into the Word, that just helps me grow stronger, because at the end of the day, it's not my burden anymore. It's not mine to keep. It's mine to release and give it to God. Because I'm not the perfect Christian girl, and I know that. I haven't grown up in the way that I should have. But it doesn't mean I can't change now. It doesn't mean you can't change now. It doesn't mean you can't give your all to Jesus now. And you guys need to know that. Because God is always here. He's always waiting for you to come home. And I can't stress it enough. When you feel alone, He's always there. So I just pray that you guys go out in this world today and show compassion to the people that hurt you, because in the end, it's not your problem, it's God's. And God will handle that when we're at His heavenly gates, and He's there to be the judge of all judges, and every sin will be confessed. So I thank you guys a lot, because it's taken me a really different path with all these videos and things, and with the events that are happening in my life. It's just showing me that God's working through me, that God is continuously helping me prosper in Him, helping me find the Word, helping me find Him, and I couldn't be any more greater than I am today. So I thank you guys so much, and definitely I'm gonna open up my comments again on my YouTube channel, where I want you guys to put comments. I want you guys to put prayer requests, and if you guys have something on your hearts, please reach out to me, because I know a lot of my subscribers are personal friends and family, well, who I consider family, and I just would love to get more into the Word with you, give you more knowledge on, day-to-day life things. And if you guys have topics you want me to talk about, heck, put that below. But thank you guys so much.